I wanted to blow up pumpkins since Halloween was over. We had one last exploding target, and then we had some powder left, so we put the powder in a bag and I tried it a couple times, but I keep on missing the target. But finally, he took that exploding target out of the bag and put it right beside the powder, and I shot that thing. Boom! Just goes everywhere on the roof and the driveway, clear over the house. Yeah.
It was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I learned about it from being at work. I think I see the Facebook video, and there is pumpkin everywhere. I mean, everywhere.
She's like, oh, you're gonna clean this up. Now the raccoons can eat it.
Yeah, it's quite comical around here.
Yeah.
So
That's a day around here.
That's a great day.
Never a dull moment.
there is no dull moment in this house.
Well, my name is Tricia Fleming. I'm a law enforcement officer. I've lived here my entire life, so I've lived here about 37 years.
My name's Tricia Fleming. We've been married for, well, this year, in May, will be 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 boys, and I'm a paramedic in another county.
But the emergencies theme is certainly a big part of your lives.
Oh, yeah,
is,
absolutely. Yeah.
This is the only thing I've ever done. I've only been a medic. I started in 1999, December of 1999 as a medic, and this is all I've ever done. I don't know anything else. Why don't you start it with your part?
Well, she said she's a paramedic on the ambulance. She was intermediate at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But a guy I worked with was driving a truck and pulled out from another truck, and we were in a motor vehicle accident. Well, of course, with me being, through the fire department, I'd seen her on several other calls, and I mean, knew who she was and stuff like that. And so she comes out to the wreck, and the guy that was driving, they transport him, but she ends up doing a refusal on me because I didn't want to go to the hospital. I wasn't hurt. Well, she starts doing the refusal form. Of course, she's got to get all my information, my name, my address, phone number, and all this. Well, she gets down to the phone number and says, I got to get your phone number now. And I said, well, you could have had that a long time ago if you'd just asked. And she was, she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. She goes, so you don't mind if I keep it? And I said, I wish you would. And so, yeah, she obviously kept it.
Yeah. How long later did we start dating? And obviously,
It was probably 6 to 8 months later.
We started dating, and then a year later we got married.
Yeah, it all started out as one big wreck.
One big wreck. Hopefully don't end into one big wreck.
I grew up a half a mile from here, so I haven't ever lived anywhere else. It's those that have lived here for years and years and years. You kind of at some point you feel like family, because you've known that person all your life. And so when especially when we were through the fire department, stuff like that when we would have to go to calls to them people's houses, I mean, it was like going to your own family's house because you go in and you've known those people all your that their name, the kids' name, probably
Folks'
their
name.
folks' name. Yeah, I mean, it's so living here for quite a while, I mean, it's like having an extended family. It really is.
I was a city girl, and moving here took, as he can say, a long time for me to adjust to not being able just to call up and order pizza and get it here, or be 10 minutes away from a mall. So it took a long time to adjust, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I tell my kids, growing up in a city versus growing up in a rural area, you learn so much more about the world growing up in a rural area. Yeah, you can learn a lot in the city too, but just to be in touch with reality and be in touch with the world and nature, it's a here. And I wouldn't trade it for the world, whether it be in another area, rural area in Oklahoma, because I firmly believe we'll never move out of Oklahoma. We're lifelong residents of Oklahoma. But I wouldn't trade it for the world, being in a small community and being able to just know your neighbors, because you didn't get the luxury of that in Texas and in Texas City or Houston area. So yeah, the town's not much. It's a post office, post office, community center, a couple churches, a fire department, and an old store that's now run down pretty good.
But, that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. You know, there's not even really stop signs in this city, but it's unique. You can go out and sit on the back porch or sit on the front porch, and to be able to see the stars, to be able to feel the wind, to be able to hear the birds, to be able to see cows across the road. I mean, even though it's not really considered, you know, wildlife, it's that's it. I mean, you touch it every day here, and you don't get that in cities. You don't get that even in bigger cities than Strang. And Strang's 150 people. You don't get that anymore. So you touch it every day. And that's the blessing of this, because I can take pictures, and especially if you go just a mile and a half up over to the west and go over to the river and sunset there, it's amazing. You cannot find another sunset like that. It's spiritual in itself. There's times when I'll go to work and I'll leave just a couple minutes early, and I'll just stop right there on the bridge because nobody's coming or going, and I'll stop right there on the bridge and I'll just say a little prayer to the man upstairs and take a picture and post it to my Facebook page and say, "You only wish you could have this." Yeah, that's the true meaning of Strang. So yeah, you touch it every day.